The more you watch my content and the more you get to know me, you'll realise that I really do not care what people think of me. If you don't like me, that's on you. And if you don't like the things I have to say, then the channel isn't for you either. And just know that I'm here for the community, with the community, to play video games. So, welcome back to the channel. We actually have an incredibly interesting video. Somebody shared my Season 2 rant for The Division 2 on Reddit, and it has the biggest mixture of responses. People being abusive towards me, people agreeing with what I said. But that's why I'm bringing this video to you today, so that I can answer these questions. So it comes from the horse's mouth, the person that created the content. But not only that, just look at what the developers have done. They created the game, they've caused so much controversy that the community is divided. If something goes wrong in Destiny 2, majority of the players stick up for each other and they go at the devs and say you've messed up. Look at Modern Warfare, they refused to add in duos for a long time for Warzone and everyone grouped together to get them to sort it out and add that in. That eventually worked, but then look at Division 2. You have someone making a complaint about something. There are some people that will agree, but there's also a lot of people that will disagree. So the fanboys are in full force, the haters of my channel are also in full force, and basically I'm not going to play the clip, but it's the part where I state that Modern Warfare brings in new content and other games with a season pass bring new content into the game. But for some reason that all the Division 2 do is just give you cosmetics and keys and stuff that you can earn by playing the game. There's nothing in there that you can't get by playing the game. And that's for the paid side of the track. That's for the premium track for Season 2. So we're going to start off with, this game has a lot of problems, but I find Born to Game has become pretty exhausting. Rather than being critical of the very real issues in the game, he just seems to mostly make stuff up and then moan about it for half an hour. It just ends up diluting the conversation. I would like someone to point out how many of my videos on this game are half an hour long. I actually sit there and I state that I've re-recorded videos several times because I don't want them to be as long as they are. So the fact that I moan about it for half an hour is a load of shit. But not only that, I've become exhausting, yet you've taken your time to sit there and complain about me. You will get a lot of haters that say, oh, you're a bitch, you always moan. But look at their comments, look at their thoughts towards you. They are moaning about you. So anyone that ever says you're a bitch because you're moaning, that's just them being a hypocrite. And apparently I make stuff up. I only ever speak the truth. It's facts in my videos. I do research for what I'm talking about. I never make anything up. And then you've got someone, I agree with this statement wholeheartedly, doesn't have that I clickbait with my titles. I would like to know which ones are clickbait. I just put what the video is talking about in the title, but I do it in a smart way. There's nothing clickbait about that. It's not misleading. What you see in the title is what you're getting in the video. Sometimes, though, he does stuff that is so insane and stupid that it becomes full circle and you can't help but laugh at him and feel sorry at times. Okay, whatever. People want to laugh at me. Pretty sure that's a good thing for my job. I'm supposed to be, in a way, an entertainer, an influencer. I'm a content creator. I create content. My favourite example of this was when he tried to use random purple drops to clear a heroic mission to complain about purples dropping in them. He didn't even put on weapon attachments and straight up moans and complains about everything for the next 5 to 10 minutes. Like, bro, what are you trying to prove? I'm trying to prove that I put together a random purple build. It was a crazy build, and that's what I titled the video. If you want to believe that that means crazy good, you go ahead and believe that. But I put it together and then complained about purples dropping in missions because I showcased how bad a purple build is. I'm not going to put attachments on something that's already bad. I'm not going to try and make it any better because there are plenty of high-end weapons you can use in the game that are going to perform good and you'll be able to clear heroic. So you don't need to put attachments on to give stability, accuracy, crit chance, headshot damage, all the other stuff that attachments give, because you should just straight up with the base damage be able to clear that content. Purple shouldn't drop. That's the end of that story. I remember when he made a video a month or two ago which was called something like the most useless item in the game, or whatever it was. From all the things he could have talked about, he decided to rant about backpack trophies. I'm never going to stop. Please explain to me what in the game is more useless than a backpack trophy. I only stated that because backpack trophies come in such a big number. They are always giving out backpack trophies. Yes, it's a useless item. There's nothing wrong with that title. I mean, like, come on, dude, are you seriously going to complain about goddamn cosmetic items because you ran out of content to complain about? I'll never run out of content with this game to moan about it because there are so many mistakes from the devs. But regardless of what I think of, it's still content that I post to the channel, and yes, if cosmetic items look shit, I'm going to complain. Are you seriously sitting there telling me if they started adding in unicorns and fairies to the Division 2, you're not going to sit there and complain? It's a cosmetic item, remember, not allowed to complain about them ones. This was the most pathetic video he had ever made, and I never watched a single video of his since then. You've just watched a clip from my video because you've obviously watched the part of the rant on this Reddit thing, unless you're just commenting to get your 2p piece in. Then complains about recycled content, but recycles whining and bitching for clicks. I don't make my videos for clicks, I make them because that's my thoughts on a game I'm currently playing, and it's not recycled content if there are new things to complain about. That's too bad for you to feel that way. This is actually the first time I've heard of him, but he's absolutely correct about this specific point. Even Destiny produces content for season passes and more like weapon skins, armor skins and stuff like that. He's not wrong. Aside from the new raid, of which we only receive one new raid per year so far, there are no new missions, game modes or anything. And this is spot on, there isn't. We get maybe 2 brand sets and a few named weapons, 2 to 3 exotic gear pieces into the existing loot pool, but we're still playing the same missions, doing the same turn-in quests and projects that we've been doing for over a year. I have Wony, but pretty much aside from target farming the old Wony exclusives, there's no reason to return to the Wony map if you finish the campaign. That is again spot on. I don't ever go over to New York because I don't need to. He does have a point though, recycling content for a new season is a bit poor, and it does conclude to a lack of creativity. Then someone, like they're talking about creativity in that thread, so I'll leave that one. You got damn right, it's possible to make a career out of tilting and windmills. Does this cunt do anything other than bitching? At this point I'm quite sure this guy has serious mental health problems, so when you talk about mental health problems, I do. I suffer depression, severe anxiety, and I have OCD. I am anxious about death. My OCD plays a part on that, so I obsess over the thought of dying. That is it's a serious mental health problem. But I can tell you right now that that does not get involved in what I do on YouTube. And just because I moan about something, that means that you're going to sit there and take the piss out of people with mental health problems. Saying that, assuming that someone has to have them because they're moaning. How sad and empty your life must be to constantly make videos about a game that annoys you to death. No, it doesn't annoy me to death. I've stated that hundreds of times, and if you bothered looking at the content I produce, then you would fucking know that. And not just that, sad and empty. I have a partner with 2 kids, I'm very close to my family, there's nothing wrong with my personal life, and the fact that someone has gone to that extent to call me a cunt, as well as fucking saying, talking about mental health problems and someone's personal life. You, my friend, are a fucking dickhead. Just go fuck yourself. You have no right talking about someone's personal life, and you have no right talking about mental health in terms of someone complaining. Everyone is everyone is entitled to their own opinions, whether you like them or not. Honestly, I'm glad he does, and I wish more YouTubers would bitch more. Since TU8, the game has been piss poor. Every update and patch introduces as many bugs as it fixes. It's beyond a joke at this point. Thank you. Somebody finally understands. This game at the moment is a 2 out of 10, at a push. This is not a fucking good game to sit there and play. Every single YouTuber you see for this game licks the arseholes clean, and I'm going to keep saying that. I'm going to keep referring to it as that. Because, as you can see with the fanboys, there's nothing wrong with the game, there's plenty of content. I believe there's actually one in here that mentions how much content there is. More YouTubers do need to step up. This is a game that they paid money for, that they want to play every day. And there's been nothing new in terms of content in 3 months. And if you say that seasons are new content, go and ask the developers, because apparently, according to the devs, it's not new content, it's there for guidance. Guidance that you can only get if you buy the expansion. Seriously, it's just pathetic to devote a chunk of your life to negativity about something like a video game. I'm 32, and yes, being a troll and shithead on the internet was fine when I was a teen, but if you're an adult being like this, then you're just a loser. Being a shithead and a troll, I'm not trolling in any way, shape or form. I mess around and I take the piss out of other YouTubers constantly putting out build videos, because I don't agree with it. But I'm not being a shithead, I'm pointing out that these developers have fucked up with this game. And I'm sorry, but as much of a fanboy as anyone is, you can't defend it. You can defend it on Reddit and in the forums and go, oh, you're making such good content for this game, keep up the good work. But no, you can't fool the bigger part of the player base, because it's just a load of shit. Yes, you're 32, I'm 26, I'm a little bit closer to my teen years, and I'm sorry, when I'm 80 or 90 years old, I'm still going to be childish. There's nothing wrong with having a little bit of immaturity in your body. Someone goes, well, look at his views and think how much he gets from ad revenue, and suddenly that bitching makes total sense. That is a load of bollocks. The views, yes, they get you money, And like, that's the whole point of, like, I don't get how people don't understand that. Like, being a YouTuber, the whole point of it is to build up your subscriber count, build up your views, get more money, because it's a job. And in every single job in this world, you strive to get promoted and do better and have a bigger payroll. There is nothing wrong with doing that, but ad revenue, you clearly don't know much about YouTube, because ad revenue is the lowest point of income a YouTuber will ever receive. To be honest, he moans and looks sad, but he's saying the truth. So after giving me shit, like basically saying, oh, you only make videos for views and stuff, after trying to indirectly try and give me some form of abuse and talk down about me to other people on a forum, at the same time you're agreeing with what I'm saying. Whatever, moving on. It's true there's no real content coming, also global events are shit. Well, yeah, of course they are. They're uncreative, like, there's no creativity behind the thought of the global events. There's absolutely nothing, and there's only one new global event for the whole of Season 2. The other 3 are from Season 1, exactly the same rewards, the same play, everything. It's disappointing if I have to spend money again after the Gold Edition limited book and won't he? It is disappointing. He's 100% right though, absolutely will not be purchasing the Season Pass. This game is pretty much over. The devs couldn't even be bothered to come up with new global events. They recycled the old ones and left their reward tracks for the events completely the same. There you go, someone else has noticed it. B2G is a toxic joke, non-helpful vids with semi-copied content. There are way better Div 2 content creators out there. You can call me toxic, you can say that I'm full of myself or anything, but when I create a video of any game, it doesn't just relate to the Division 2. When I post a video, if you look at my most popular, they are tips videos. They are created by me to help you out. I have helped out, I'm going to say hundreds of thousands of people, because I've got over 17 million views on this channel. Semi-copied content, I don't know what that means. I think of the majority of my videos, and if I don't, and I have taken inspiration or the idea from someone else, I always credit them as the source of my information. You've either got constant build videos, you've got news stuff. People even show you what the daily targeted loot is. I mean, load up your fucking game, open your map, press one button on your D-pad, boom, you've got it all in front of you. What sort of content is it to sit there for 5 minutes talking about that on a daily basis? It's not. I post videos, Season 2 is shit, don't buy it, this is the reasons behind why I believe that. Don't, look at this build, and this is the build I've been using for the last 3 months. I'm not going to post them every single day, because that's not what I believe in. Like, people that do post daily or even every other day build videos, they don't have a clue what them builds revolve around. They get an idea, they throw it together, it looks good, they feed it to their community. That's it, they move on. They probably scrap that after and go back to their old builds. Don't go and take any of that out of context. I'm not saying I'm the best content creator in the world, I'm the best for the Division 2, or anything like that. There are probably thousands of creators that are a million times better than me. I don't care. I create my own content, and from what I've seen of other creators, so only what I personally know, there are far too many build videos, news that isn't being relayed properly, and that is not just with creators, that even happens with the devs. But moving on. I wouldn't mind these videos if you didn't have such a mongy sounding voice. It's like nails on a chalkboard. Well, go and fucking scratch more nails on a chalkboard, you prick. I can't change my voice, I've stated that so many times. I haven't seen his other content, but he's spot on with this video. I won't be buying the Season Pass, as there's absolutely no new content in it for me, and the Premium Season Pass rewards are boring, but not only boring, every single reward you can earn in-game, besides patches and a mask at tier 100, and what was it, the gear dies. I'm sorry, but if you're going to pay £10 for a mask and gear dies, then you do you, but it's not worth the money. He literally bitches now for money. He cannot stand his content anymore. He's realised that him bitching on the game gets him views, which most likely gets him more ad revenue. I'm sorry, but you don't have a clue what you're talking about either, because if you look at my videos, the rants get less views than what the other content does. When I did a speed run, that's got a decent amount of views. I've tested out SMGs, I've tested out shotguns. They get decent views. It's not just when I bitch. I don't get it, and not only that, as a content creator, this isn't calling anyone out or saying anything bad about the community, but if you look through my comment section, you have people asking me to do positive content. I do positive content, those people don't watch. You have people asking me to do negative content, and I do negative content, those people don't watch. But not only that, when I do positive content, people say they prefer my negative stuff. When I do negative stuff, they say they like my positive stuff. So it's kind of like, do I actually sit there and listen to the community, or do I just go and do my own thing? Because it's hard to determine what's actually going to be more enjoyable for you guys to watch, because, as I said, because of this game, the communities surrounding this game are just so mixed. It makes it really, really hard for a content creator, because I create videos to either help people with my tips, to either warn people away from money grabbing schemes from development companies, or I point out when something's bad and when something's broken in a game. I also do funny moments with my friends and stuff, and I don't know what you guys want to watch more. And not only that, I am told, like, a lot of people will tell me, oh, watch whatever you post, and I go and post other games and they don't get anywhere near as many views. And I don't just post videos for views. I would never do that. And I mean, if I was going to do that, would I not go and play Warzone every day? Would I not go and play Fortnite all the time, or Minecraft? Because that's all that trends. And if you clickbait and you do something on Minecraft or Fortnite, you're going to get a lot of views. If you stick to all of these new games and stuff, you're going to get a lot of views. But I'm sitting here playing a 15-month-old game because I enjoy it. I like calling out the devs because that's just me. Like, if you do something and it's wrong, I'm going to point you in the right direction, give you advice and say, like, that's a mistake. And I would hope that everyone does it to me too. I don't simply upload videos for views, but as part of my job being a YouTuber, you have to get views, you have to build up your sub count. And people say, yeah, you can't look at it like that, it's just a hobby, YouTube isn't a job. I earn enough money from posting my videos without, like, even when I wasn't doing Division 2, still getting way more than enough to do what I need to do with that money. It pays my bills, puts a roof over my family's head, and puts food on my family's dinner table. That is a job, because that's what a lot of people go out and work to do. Like, that's the reason people go out and work, is to provide for their families. That's what YouTube does for me. I've noticed he does this for every single game he plays. No, I don't. There are lots of games that I play where I don't do the types of videos I do for the Division 2. But if I do rants for games and I kick off about problems in games, it's because they need fixing. I'm not going to sit there and let developers get away with shit when there are people that are out there paying their hard-earned money to buy their crap. B2G literally just fixates one small minor detail and whines about it as if it were a dead horse to beat. I find it literally exhausting to even listen to this kind of stuff. Not that I'm giving massive a pass for a woeful lack of new content with each season, but people like B2G who just whine about it doesn't do anything for the conversation. I'm the only one in the YouTube community in terms of creators that's speaking out about the problems within the game. Even if I do just fixate on one small minor detail, isn't that better than me talking about 500 different things per video? It keeps people more on terms, like on track with what the topic actually is in the video. So that doesn't make sense. Whether it's one small minor detail or 100 different things, it doesn't matter. And you even stated in your own comment that there are a lot of problems with the game, so why are you not talking out about them? Why are you not contacting devs? Why are you not complaining that this game's broken and lacks in content? And look, shades, sunglasses, 90% of the time in the game it is raining. That is taken as a quote from my video talking about Season 2. I love this guy's content. I don't always agree with it, but it doesn't make it any less entertaining. There you go. If I can come out of a day behind the computer screens making videos and someone tells me, I love your work, keep up the good work, it's motivating. I love it when someone comes to the channel when they say, oh, I'm having a really bad week at work, you've really cheered me up, thank you. Even if it's from an angry rant. That makes me feel good. Because whether it's negative or positive towards a game, I can make people happy. The developers don't make me happy. I will always talk about the negative side of the Division 2. I'm never going to cover it up. I'm not going to beat around the bush. TU10 is a complete fucking shambles. And I'm really shocked that a lot of people missed the point. Title Update 10 was supposed to balance things. Why the fuck is my Baker's Dozen still OP as shit? There is no reason for me to use another gun. The Pestilence is still amazing. Exotics still feel dreadful to use. Me, I totally hate the fact that Born to Game just moans and also sometimes just makes up reasons to moan. I don't make up reasons, but I do nitpick at some problems within games. But I'm a content creator, it's my job to create content. So if I can find something to make content from, then so be it. Also me, I totally love the fact that Born to Game just moans and even invents things to moan about. So it's a love-hate type thing. I don't know why, but I love hearing his voice and accent moaning. It's so entertaining. I keep having this vision in my head of some South London gangster who takes a break from mafia duties to play Division in his own time and just gets angry. I love it. I like his videos where he says he's going to stare at a wall and then the 30-minute video is his character staring at a wall while he rants. That's entertainment. See, people fucking love it. Why would I stop creating it if people enjoy seeing it? There are some things that I will go and moan about. Like, not everyone in this world, no one is perfect. I don't aim to be perfect. I know I make mistakes and everybody does. But when I make mistakes, I like people to point them out. When the developers make mistakes, I like pointing them out. Not only that, I did something in a video and someone sent me an Xbox message. Like, I didn't think about anything at the time, nothing of it. But someone sent me a message and said, well, that was a little bit off. And I didn't reply to the message, but it made me think, like, oh, did I actually make a mistake doing that? Like, was that the wrong thing to do? And I haven't done anything like it since. But that's the whole point. People aren't perfect. If I can post a video, no matter what I'm doing, as long as someone has a smile on their face at the end of the day, I don't give a shit what I'm posting. It makes me happy to make other people happy. And I get a lot of people telling me that my rants make people happy. So if I can find legit things to moan about, no matter how small they are, I'm gonna do it. And I might actually have to bring back more of the staring at the walls whilst I do it, because a lot of it has been gameplay, and I do miss the walls. I love the way the audio loops seamlessly, you can just leave it playing. It does have a slight point, but is really going overboard with the criticism. No, I'm not. You can't criticise enough when there's that many mistakes. The rewards are mostly uninteresting and uninspiring. Well, there you go. That's a reason to criticise as much as you possibly can, because the rewards, even though you said mostly, they're uninteresting. They really need to lessen the amount of backpack trophies, 100%, and materials caches, and replace them with more meaningful rewards like way more apparel, more exotic and unique weapon skins, DZ exclusive named item caches. You can call them decontaminated named item caches. Changing this should be a relatively simple thing to do and would make seasons as well as the events within them, such as leagues and global events, so much better. So you're saying that I'm going overboard with the criticism, yet you've just come up with an entire idea behind what they could do to make seasons more fun. So you're criticising the job they've done at the same time. I'll go overboard if I ever feel the need to, but a lot of the time I just tell things how they are. And if you see that as me being overboard with what I'm doing, then so be it. But the fact that you said I do have a slight point, no, I have a point. They have fucked up so badly with this. I was looking through the rewards earlier on the season track again, and I was talking to Con and Pete about them, and my god, they suck. As you go through a season pass, it's sometimes it's going to take more XP, a lot of the time it's going to be the same XP per level. So we'll go based on Division 2, 700k XP per level. You would expect the further you get into the season, because you've put more time into the game, the more rewarding those items would be. You get to tier 100, you're getting a mask and a patch. If you don't give them £10, you ain't getting that mask. You're simply getting a patch that sits on your right shoulder. And might I point this out? When you're in the game, it's third person. You sit behind cover, and if your character's looking to the left, you can't see your arm patch at all. If your character's looking to the right, you would have to sit there and focus on it because it's such a small thing. If you have the emote show off, then you can point to your arm patch and oh, look at this, and someone can aim down their sights and they can see it a little bit better. When you aim down your sights and you're firing from the shoulder, so you're not looking down a full-on scope because that would completely remove it. But when you're aiming down your sights, the game is set to focus on where your crosshair is because you're aiming at enemies. So what do they do to that patch that you earn as a tier 100 reward? They put a Gaussian blur behind it. You can't even see the patch on your arm when you're aiming down your sights. There is a lot of stuff that I could point out that I've never spoken about in this game before that just makes it even worse than a lot of you already believe. And some of you believe it's really good. I could change your mind because I've played over 1100 hours. I pretty much know most things about this game. Not saying I know everything because that would just be fucking big-headed. I'm not that sort of dickhead. I leave that to some other content creators that I'm not going to name because can't be asked for all that shit all over again. I mean, unless they give me a reason to. And I'd just like to quickly add this in because I'm obviously going through the video at this time editing, and not only do they add the Gaussian blur, but if you have completed the raid or done something that's granted you the award of getting a patch in the game and you are proud of that, why are you going to switch that for a different patch when you reach tier 100 in the season? I know it's an accomplishment, but instead of reaching tier 100 in season 2, I much prefer the idea of having a patch on my arm to say I have completed raid number 1. The raid was a lot harder to do. It was a much bigger accomplishment than reaching tier 100 in a season. Yeah, moving on. I sit there laughing at how it gets rolled up. Almost all videos are like that. Hey, at least it's not like Destiny 2 where you're actually paying for removed content 3 years for 3 locations with 30 minutes worth of content and the rest is grind and more grinding. Spot on, and I'm starting to look a lot less forward to Beyond Light just because I've seen the price tag for it, and instead of releasing Destiny 3 and working on that, they thought, well, fuck it, we're going to release new expansions. £60 is the asking price for Beyond Light. For an expansion in the game which is going to bring back like old content from Destiny 1, or whatever they're doing with that expansion, it doesn't validate £60, especially when Shadowkeep brand new was like 30. The game's now free to play. I get they've got to make their money, but they've got battle passes and like season passes and stuff in there as well. But £60, that's the price for an entire game. So Destiny 2, like all looter shooters just fall into the same category of just the devs just having stupid monetization ways in the game. And not just that, it's games as a service. Like that shit's ruined gaming completely. Both games are suffering right now, blah, blah, blah. That's moving on to Destiny. Is a Call of Duty Battle Pass free? I mean, with the blueprints and the camos and such, because then it's a fair comparison. I don't play COD, but I don't think those seasons are free. Well, no, they're not. You have to pay 1,000 COD points, but if you're playing Season 3 for Call of Duty, you can earn the COD points so that you get Season 4 for free. You don't have to pay a penny for it, because if you play enough of the game, you can earn the COD points to get the next one for free. You can't do that in Division 2. There's no way to earn premium credits. That would be a lot better to take some of the gear dyes out and some of the faction keys and stuff and replace it with premium credits. But as I said, this is just a money grab. And not only that, if you don't, like if it's your first ever season on Call of Duty, you have to pay to take part in the season. There are no like actual rewards in the game on the free or the premium track. So there is nothing that you can't get in the game. The Mantis, the Vial Mask, like you have to unlock them through the season thing, but they've locked that content behind the seasons. Everything else, so your first 5 tiers of the free track, you're going to get some of the Walker Harris & Co. brand set. You're going to get some of that stuff. You can get that just by playing the game before the season even starts. But the point is, like, I ignored the free track. This is all based on premium track, and you get nothing that you can't earn by playing the game, and that is the paid track. So yes, you have to pay for Call of Duty season passes, but you have to pay for the premium track. The free track just pretty much doesn't feature anything. I have no respect for massive gameplay designers, but this video is just cringe with no good arguments. I'm pretty sure there are some good arguments in there. You can't be asked to watch the video for whatever reason, and yeah, like, here is a good argument, and I'm pretty sure I mentioned this in the video too. How comes the developers sat there on State of the Game and said the premium track will only feature cosmetic items? Now we're on to Season 2, and they're hoping and praying the player base has forgotten about that. There are now 2 exotic caches, which are not cosmetics, and they can give the players an unfair advantage, which is what players were banned for and rolled back for a couple of months ago. I believe it was the end of March. If you have no respect for the gameplay designers and you think I've got no good arguments, then do you actually believe in anything? Because if you watch the video, I have some very good arguments in there. But not only that, I do respect the gameplay designers. They're just not doing a good enough job. They are doing a good job. They've created the Division 2. Like, they've created an entire fucking game. That can't be easy. But with everything they've done since the launch, I don't have respect because they've messed it all up. British accents make this even better. There you go. Like, even though a lot of people complain about my voice, some people love my accent. So, there you go. It's a win-win for me. Absolute win-win, because fuck all the haters. Forget about the fanboys. They can go and suck more massive dick. As I've stated probably several times through this video, and again, actually, there you go. We've almost, depending on editing, we've made a half an hour video. But it's not looking at a wall. And I'm ignoring that cosplay. I'm sorry, but no. Cosplay, it shouldn't be featured. I'm not getting into it. Whatever. And this is Reddit. It's not State of the Game. That's a different sort of topic. But it's a win-win for me because I'm getting more exposure for my job. More people are finding out about my content. Not only that, there are community managers and stuff that go on Reddit, so they might actually see this and hear what I'm saying. They probably won't pay any attention to it, but you never know. There are people with mixed opinions. That is absolutely fine. But some people just have stupid opinions. And calling me a cunt, talking about mental health and talking about my life, that's not on. I haven't done anything to you as a person. You don't talk shit about me as a person. But it's a win-win for me because I've got more exposure for the channel. Not only that, I've been shared on Reddit. It's the Division's official subreddit. There are people talking about the content I made, whether it's good or bad. And not only that, I found out through this, with people talking outside of the comment section, because basically, if you like me as a content creator, then you're going to be more inclined to say, like, I really enjoy your content. Whereas on Reddit, people are free to speak whatever they want to speak. And the fact that some of you, I know from the comments that a lot of you mean what you say. Like, basically what I'm saying is, I've heard it from an external source that I do make entertaining content at the same time. So it's, if you want to call it that, it's a little bit of an ego boost, makes me feel good, but that's not going to change the way I do anything. Like, that's just going to make me happy and give me more motivation to make content. And not only that, to people that say all I ever do is make negative content, read between the lines. Look at the other content I post on the channel. It's not all negative. You were just fucking unlucky and probably stupid enough to just click on the ones that say angry rant. If you look at some of the ones that don't say angry rant, they're not angry. Some of them do have complaints in, but a lot of the time I will name it an angry rant now because I'm moaning about it. Some of them, I even posted a video. This is surprisingly a breath of fresh air. People haven't paid any attention to that one. Oh no, I just complain in every single video about every game I ever play and blah 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 blah. But we are done. That's probably just taken it over the half-an-hour mark. Apologies for the length. The next one definitely won't be as long, but I wanted to cover this in depth because it was pointed out by Colt, one of the members on the channel. Thank you, Colt. I appreciate it. And all I can say is, Mum, get the camera. I made it. I'm famous. I'm being shared everywhere else. But with all the dickhead stuff and childishness and all the immaturity and everything aside, that's going to do it for the video. Let me know your thoughts and stuff in the comments. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you for watching.